To develop humor using the rule of three, we are going to use a very simple and highly effective process. First, we bring out the rule of three template table that has 3 brainstorming columns. The next step is to clearly and concisely identify the subject matter that we are brainstorming. In our example, we're going to explore, you know you are a professional speaker when... It is critical that this wording is short, as this is going to be the initial setup statement for our rule of three humor development. Next, we're going to fill in the left-hand column titled small. We're going to brainstorm the words professional speaker to come up with as many small or minuscule relatable items as possible. And we type in what immediately comes to mind. To further mine this, we can also do a Google search using the search words professional speaker glossary or even public speaking glossary. Next, we're going to fill in the middle column titled big. We're going to brainstorm the words professional speaker to come up with as many big or large relatable items as possible. Again, we type in what immediately comes to mind. And we can also follow the same strategy as we did for the small items and do a Google search using search words professional speaker glossary or public speaking glossary. Next, we're going to fill in the right-hand column titled absurd or crazy. We're going to brainstorm the words professional speaker to come up with as many absurd or crazy items as possible. And once again, we type in what immediately comes to mind. And this is where we let our minds wander and try and come up with weird and crazy stuff. Next, we need to identify logical combinations of 2 small items and then 2 big items. We are specifically looking for items where there seems to be a logical flow. Once we find them, we highlight the groups of 2 to help them stand out. Now comes the part that takes a little bit of creative brain power. We are looking for a setup, followed by a twist. And this could be any of the following. 2 small items combined with 1 big item. 2 small items combined with 1 crazy absurd item. 2 big items combined with a small item. Or 2 big items combined with a crazy, absurd item. Once we find the twist, we highlight it to the same color as the 2 setup items. And in this example, the twist items were found in the absurd, crazy column, but they don't always land in that column. It could be in one of the others. Once you have found the combination of 3 items that work best, you are now ready to do some draft wording in the initial brainstorming column. Finally, and now we're at the end, we review the sentence structure to make the humor as punchy and concise as possible. We are aiming for setup, followed by a twist. In this case, the final wording I came up with is, you know you're a professional speaker when you get phone calls from bureaus, referrals, and debt collectors.